Hello. Forget what you think a heavy truck is. What you're looking, it is a real 11-axle, 164,000 pound road monster. This isn't a one-off custom build. This isn't a joke. For decades, these giants were the undisputed kings of hauling in one very specific place. This is the story of the Michigan gravel train. So why? Why on earth would you need 11 axles? The answer is one word: law. Starting in the 1950s, the state of Michigan had a unique bridge formula law. It was simple. You could haul a truly massive gross weight up to 164,000 pounds or 74 tons, but only if you could spread that weight. The law didn't care about how many axles you had, only the distance between them and the number of them. More axles meant less weight per tire, which protected the roads and, more importantly, the bridges. So trucking companies did the math. To maximize profit, they started adding axle, and then more and more. This 11-axle truck and pub configuration became the ultimate solution. The truck itself had a dump box, and pulled a separate pub trailer that also had a dump box. It was the most effective way to move the most material with one driver. The truck you see here is the GMC Crackerbox, one of the most famous models used for this. Its short aluminum cab was perfect. Later, the GMC Astro, like this one, took over. But this wasn't just a GMC game. If you built a heavy-duty truck, you had a Michigan special in your lineup. Mack was a huge player, so were Kenworths, Peterbilt, Ford, and the heavy-duty specialist Autocar. They all built custom-spec frames and suspension to handle this extreme work. But these weren't just standard trucks with extra wheels bolted on. Oh no, a Michigan Special was a different breed. To move 164,000 pounds, they were ordered from the factory with the triple thread. First, the biggest, highest torque engines available, think massive Detroit diesels or Cummins. Second, a double frame, literally, and frame rail slid inside another, for the strength to keep the truck from twisting in half. And third, heavy-duty transmissions and planetary rear axles designed for low-speed ground, like something from an off-road quarry machine. These were true special order machines. And don't think this was just for dump trucks. The law applied to any heavy load. This 11-axle design was a common sight for fuel tankers, like this gravel train for liquids. You'd also see them hauling milk, salmon and logs. If it was heavy, and it was a Michigan, it had more wheels than you could count. The advantage was obvious: money. One driver, one engine, one license plate. But the payload of almost 3 standard dump trucks. It was a river of cash for construction and aggregate companies. But the disadvantages, ask any driver. These things were a nightmare. They were 70+ feet long. The pub trailer had a mind of its own and was notoriously difficult to back up. Entire maintenance, you had 42 tires on the ground, plus spares. It was a full-time job just keeping them inflated. So, did drivers love them or hate them? The answer is yes. It was a love-hate relationship. On one hand, it took a special kind of skill to handle the big banger. It was a badge of honor, and the pay was often better because you were hauling more. On the other hand, it was a brutal, heavy and unforgiving work. The trailers could park the truck on wet or icy roads, and maneuvering them on a chaotic construction site was a true test of nerve. So where did they all go? The laws changed. In the 1980s, federal bridge laws began to standardize, making the unique Michigan rule absolute. At the same time, technology created a better solution. Modern super dumps with multiple lift axles can now carry almost as much weight. But they are far more maneuverable, more efficient and infinitely safer and easier to drive. The 11 Monster was a brilliant, extreme solution to a very specific problem. It wasn't just a truck, it was a legend of the highway, born from a golden age of engineering and illegal loopholes.